Playing Stardew Valley is a lot like climbing Mount Everest. It's a long journey where you as a, quote, climber must consult guides, like YouTube and the wiki. You must also make preparations months in advance by getting the right crops for the community center within the first few hours of playing, or else suffer for a whole in-game year because it's impossible to get a freaking green bean until then. But most of all, you must survive a long journey. And while Stardew is a mere 150 to 200 hours compared to the weeks or months it could take to climb Everest, let's be real, nobody's gonna raw dog 150 to 200 hours in less than 2 weeks, which can be like a third of some of the quicker Everest times. In this video, I make some huge strides to make sure that that 200 hour time doesn't turn into 400 plus hours. I sort of acclimated at the base camp, if you will. Alright, let's stop with the mountain analogies. Day 1 was the ultimate restoration day. I first talked to Kent, who was a military veteran that had just gotten back from overseas, and after that I spent the rest of the day cleaning up the farm and also planting the new strawberry crops because I didn't want to make the mistake of minimizing my profits due to poor planting times. Day 2 was honestly more of the same, with cleaning up the farm and just making it, recovered from winter. Just so you guys know, I will be skipping over some days if they feel like ones that have happened before, due to the fact that this game inevitably will have some repetitive nature to it, and I don't want to waste your guys' time saying, oh, I did this, I did that, 3-4 times in a row. In some slightly interesting news for the day though, I was able to plant some trees up in the train yard that I would try to use as a lumber farm while also getting a lot of foraging XP. Day 3 was my first Skull Cavern run of the new year. It wasn't too eventful or out of the ordinary considering most Skull Cavern runs, however I did get an auto grabber, which was very nice as I wouldn't need to run around the chicken coop every day as much. Unfortunately though, I was a little bit too careless and I ended up losing all of my health, which did suck because I lost some pretty nice stuff, including my iridium ore, which was really disappointing because that was the main reason I wanted to go, but we just gotta run it back. Days 4 through 6 were all pretty much the same, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on them. All you really need to know was that it was just more beautifying the farm by removing random plants. Then I'd go to farm some other resources and maybe talk to a couple people, and the cycle pretty much repeated for 3 days. Day 7 was a very economic day. After seeing that I could afford the pigs, which were very important because I really needed the truffles for the community center, I realized that I would have to sell a lot of my animal products stash, which was unfortunate because I am a certified grade A hoarder. And then after that, I went to the beach to reenact Cartman's theme song.
Day is never finished. Master got me working. Someday Master set me free.
Dude, shut up, Cartman!
On day 8, I took another crack at the Skull Caverns, and this time, I actually got some pretty decent loot, including a prismatic shard and 10 iridium ores. Sucks that the iridium ores got lost about 30 seconds later though, because yet again, I did not keep track of my health. Day 10 was possibly the most impactful, important, and just the most stuff going on day of the entire season. First off, I got the sewer key, which let me finally get access to Krobus, who I actually end up planning on making my roommate, because that's a pretty cool concept for me. After that, I was able to get my very first strawberry harvest of the entire season, which is pretty nice because that means I finally have a steady flow of income. Of course, my hoarder instincts took over and I immediately plopped him in the chest, but, at least I got him. After that, I got a duck feather, which is one of the very few things I still need for the community center. And to top it off, I went to the Skull Caverns after that, and I had some of the best luck ever. Not only did I get 4 diamonds and 10 iridium ore, but I also got a dino egg. Those things are really, really rare. So it was really nice to be able to find one of those things this early on in the playthrough. On day 11, I finally finished the stupid crop room, and that unlocked the greenhouse for me, which was very nice. Also, I finally popped into the sewers to say hello to Krobus. On day 12, I made the biggest mistake, possibly of the entire playthrough. The thing is, for the community center, all I needed left was the truffles and some maple syrup for the bulletin board. And the thing is, I had the truffles in the bag, I already had my pig going, but I needed the maple syrup. And so I put the tap into what I thought was the maple tree. Turns out, it was not the maple tree. But that's for later me to figure out. Day 13 was the day of the Easter egg hunt in town. I may or may not have gotten ratioed by the purple-haired girl on my first attempt, so I may or may not have had to restart the game, just so that my ego could still be upheld a little bit. In other news, look at me win this egg hunt very first try. Yeah, I'm amazing. Speaking of amazing, I'm trying with every video to make more and more amazing content, and I need your support to do that. But I'm not going to make it some lame begging like all the other YouTubers. Instead, I'm going to challenge you. And this challenge has a prize. I challenge you to make it to the end of this video, and if you liked watching it, hit the subscribe and like buttons, comment what you liked about it, and share this video with a friend. I'm aiming to hit 100 subscribers by the 1-year anniversary of this channel, which is only a couple months away. But let's not forget about your prize. If I can get to 100 subscribers by the 1-year anniversary of my channel, I will do my first ever live stream to celebrate. And yes, Christian, you'll get your hamburger at it. But back to my content. On days 15 through 17, I attended the Desert Festival. This is actually a new update that came in 1.6, so it's pretty interesting being able to see new content, as before the series I actually hadn't played the game since pre 1.6, however long ago that was. Basically, think of the Desert Festival as a budget PG version of Burning Man, which, you know, pretty nice setup. The concessions were amazing, I got to try on all sorts of fun outfits, and also, I got to do a lot of fun games, like fish, and go in the deep caverns, which are totally what I want to do in a desert festival. But at least I got these weird egg things that everybody uses as currency, which I may or may not have cashed in a desperate attempt to get a Woodcutter's Weekly or two, so that I could raise my foraging level, which I did. Yippee! Who would have thought the desert is a good place to learn about trees? On day 19, I had another pretty successful deep caverns run. At this point, I was kind of getting to the section where I was getting interested in upgrading my tools into being iridium quality, so stay tuned for that for the next couple days. On day 20, I got the second to last item that I would need for the community center, that being the truffle. Coincidentally, also on this day, I realized my major mistake. I put the tap on the wrong tree. Now in my defense, the trees look very similar. But that means that I unfortunately won't be able to complete the community center this season due to me not having enough days left. What's that about my original goal being to complete the community center this season? I don't know what you're talking about. I have crippling depression because of this. Day 22 is a pretty solid day. Not only did I get my first iridium tool upgrade going, which is the iridium pickaxe, but I also had another strawberry harvest, which I believe is my third or fourth one. And to round off the day, I once again slaved away at the beach in an effort to get clay so that I could make my pathways.
Day is never finished. Master got me working.
Day 24 was the Dance of the Flower Festival. Unfortunately, because I'm single, and because I am a super antisocial weirdo of a farmer, I didn't have anyone to dance with, so I kind of just watched from the corner, as depressingly as I could. I know you're not going to like hearing this, but I have some unfortunate truth. The final 4 days of the playthrough weren't that interesting. Except for popping my iridium pickaxe out of Clint's, which means, yay, I officially have an iridium tool. And also putting my axe in to get the same treatment. Funded, of course, by shipping my harvest off to Pierre's on the way there. But other than that, I didn't really get that much done. I mean, I was doing a lot of very monotonous, kind of just like grinding related things because again, this is the ultimate prep season. And because of that, I didn't really get any good clip moments, I guess you could say. But that just means that next season is going to be even better. And hey, I have a little surprise. Towards the very end of the playthrough, on day 28, I bought a star drop from Krobus, which I feel like is a pretty solid way to end off this video. Also, by the way, the iridium axe was done on the very first day of summer, which, you know, I figured you'd like to know. With that, I'm just gonna say goodbye though. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I really liked making it and just putting it together and stuff. I know I haven't been super responsible with keeping a solid upload schedule, but I'm trying to clear things out and I'm trying to make this work. I just want to deliver quality content, and I hope that's what I'm doing. But without further ado, see you guys later, and watch out.